All right, I'm going to show you how to dump the questions from a Kahoot into a Word document. It's been wonderful for me to be able to give a hard copy of the questions to the students. If they say that they can't get on the Kahoot or their computer's not working or whatever excuse they have for not participating, I give them a copy of all the questions and they have to manually write in the answers to the questions while the Kahoot's going on. It's really spiked my Kahoot participation. So the first thing that you have to do is you have to get a copy of the results of a complete test. Now, the basic way to do that would be to have a class go all the way through the Kahoot, and then you'll have the Excel spreadsheet of that Kahoot. If you haven't had them do that and you want to save yourself the time, you can do it yourself. So I'm going to spend a couple of minutes showing you how to run a Kahoot through just to get the Excel spreadsheet. So what you can do is you can start whichever Kahoot it is that you want to run. You click on the Kahoot, and you're going to click on play. And this will actually start the Kahoot. You want to do is keep the game moving automatically. So automatically move to the questions. And what that'll do, it doesn't matter if they're random or not, what that's going to do is going to play the whole Kahoot for you by itself without you having to do anything. All right, so we'll go ahead and tell the rest of it. We're going to load the game. And then while it's doing that, whatever browser you have, all the browsers today have an in private setting. So we're going to go to new in private window. And this is basically just going to let us open another instance of Kahoot. So while that Kahoot's loading, I'll go to this in private window. You could do this in a separate browser. If you have two different browsers installed like Chrome and Internet Explorer, you can do that too. So what you're going to do is go in here and go to, let's see, Kahoot.it. And you're going to put the game pin in. You need one person in here to be able to run the game. And then we'll go. All right, and that will let you fire up the Kahoot game. So we'll minimize this window. We've got Bob is in here, and we're going to start the game. All right, so now what you're going to see here is once the timer runs out on the question, it'll pop up with the correct answer, and then it will automatically advance to the next question. And what you can do is just minimize this window, and it'll actually sit there and play through the entire Kahoot without you touching it. So nobody got the correct answer, and now we're off to the next question. 4, 3, 2, 1. And that'll run all the way through. Now let me go ahead and stop this because I'm not going to run through this whole quiz. The skip button under somewhere in here. So. Yeah, you'll have a skip button because I'm running it automatically. Okay, but I ended the quiz, or at least I tried to. All right, so once the quiz is ended, you want to go ahead, it'll come up to this window, and then once it's done, we're just going to close it here. Once it's done, you should be able to go back to Kahoot, and down here on the right-hand side, it'll have your recent results. So this is where that whole Kahoot game is stored at. I'm going to go to one I did previously, and I'm going to click on download, and this is going to download an Excel spreadsheet. And it opens up. We'll tell it to save. Sometimes it'll open automatically. It depends on your browser. And we're going to open that file. Now, there's a weird result here that happens sometimes where this is a Kahoot problem, but when Kahoot auto-generates these files, they're locked by one of the programmers. But what I'm going to do is just say read-only is fine. Doesn't really matter because we're just pasting information out of this Excel spreadsheet. I'm going to go ahead and click on Enable Editing. And here you have all the questions at the top in this number 2 row right here. So we're going to pick that row and we're going to just copy the whole entire row. Copy it all. Now I'm going to minimize my spreadsheet. I'm going to open up Word. And we're going to paste this into Word as text only. You want to do paste in as text only. So we paste in now. We can delete the top row here, these titles. We don't need those. Everything else in this document is separated by tabs. So what we're going to do, if you click on this button, you can see that these little arrows here, those are tabs. We're going to delete everything at the bottom. We don't need all these extra tabs here. So we'll delete those. And then we're going to go to Find and Replace. Into the whole document. We're going to replace, we're going to find what, now this is the control code for tabs. If you hit special and tab character, it'll give you this $T, which tells it find tabs, and we're going to replace it with $P. So you type that in $P, and that will tell it to replace all the tabs with a return. We're going to say replace all, and it's going to replace every one of them. So all of our tabs now are replaced with returns. We can turn off this formatting character. We don't need to see that, and there it is. You've got a question on every line from the Kahoot. If you want to expand that out, you can select all the text, and then this is the line and paragraph spacing button, and you can change the spacing between those questions to give them some room to write. Maybe put a header up at the top of the article. Let's say name, period, date, and then maybe you could put in Kahoot questions. All right, so that's how you get your questions out of Kahoot and onto paper. This makes a good substitute for students who say that they can't participate in the Kahoot. I hope this helps you out.